wondered, when did our lives become so busy? Who do you think I'm reading? Well, I'm hanging out in bed reading. I love to read. David Venable. That's actually who I was just quoting. One time we did a little live stream together, and the question was, what would Jane rather do? Shop for shoes or read? And he said, well, that's easy, shop for shoes. I said, honey, read. My dream day is during the day I have tea, at night I have wine, I have a cozy blanket, I have a kitty cat, and I have a stack of books. Guess what? I have a stack of books. In our final look of our today's special value, Brett Hamilton, I'm coming over because I love to read, and I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think is my favorite genre to read? Oh. I know that's a hard question.
I know I'm going to be wrong. Mysteries?
Yes!
Damn.
Yes!
How did I get that right? Wow.
But my second favorite is true stories of sea disasters.
Wow.
I know.
Very specific.
I know. My dad, we used to call him the Ancient Mariner. He sailed around the world. He and I just loved it. So
that's cool.
This book that I'm holding is not just a book. It's every single solitary book that I want to keep, that I want to read for the future. And if you have a reading enthusiast, or you have someone that loves to listen to their favorite books, or you love someone that, my sister and I were just talking about magazines the other day, and she's like, I miss them. Well, you're not going to miss them anymore, because in this final presentation, my buddy Brett is here with the lowest price that we found. And that is really important for the latest and greatest Kindle. And we have colors that are beautiful. You don't have to dress to match your Kindle, but I just thought I would do it tonight. In a new color, over here we have our jade. I got pink and green's been a theme tonight. Then we have it in raspberry. We also have it in black. It is the Kindle all new Paperwhite with 16 gigs of storage in it with a glare-free screen. And I was watching you and Courtney last night, and I was so impressed because she and I love to travel, and she was like, I can't take 5 books with me and put it in my suitcase.
No, it's a big load to carry.
Yeah.
I mean, like just the old days.
Like you don't do it. You can't do it. I mean, I know even with me, before the Kindle came into my life, I would be worried about getting a paperback. Could I fit it into my carry-on? But this is going to hold thousands of books. It's like walking into your favorite library and having every book that you reread over and over and again, and then the new author, the new books that you're discovering. Yeah,
and it's never running out of room. I mean, without exaggeration, up to 15,000 books will fit in this device. That's something.
Wait, say that again.
15,000 books to fit inside this device. That's a lot to wrap your head around, because most of us will never come close to that in our lifetime. If you started right now at 60 years old, at 50 years, you're never going to read that many books.
No.
So for anybody going, well, if my computer, I run out of space after I put X amount of this, and this in there, and my tablet and my phone, and I'm always running out of room, you're not going to run out of room. And if you do, you simply delete them. They go up to the cloud. You can bring them back later. But call me if you run out of room on a device like this. But Jane, the cool part about it is that we want everything to be instant. We live in a society now where we don't want to have to get in the car, go get the thing, bring it back, especially on vacation or a time that we're taking off. And if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, it's a little extreme. Maybe it's midnight. You just finished the last page of that first book in the trilogy, and you're ready for the next one. All you do is tap onto your screen. You go to the little search engine. You type in the name of the book. You're like, oh, it's David's next cookbook. There it is. I mean, it's that fast.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
There was a very famous TV show based on books called Pretty Little Liars. Fun fact, the author went to Downingtown High School.
Okay.
Pretty Little Liars. So it was kind of like a teen book. And my daughter and I went away for the weekend, and she's like, Mommy, I think you would really like this. So she only brought one. It was back when she was like in early high school.
Okay.
It was Friday night. I read that one book. We were at the beach. It was the middle of winter. Nothing was open. And all I could think of is when I would drive home and go and get that book. It is instantaneously in your hand at the lowest price we found. And again, we only have about 30 minutes left in the show.
Yeah, and we only have 15 minutes here. So let me show you real quick how cool this device is. I mean, because when we think about where tablets have come from the initial e-reader, right, Jane? I mean, since you and I probably, in fact, I think it was either you. I think it may have been you.
Probably, honey. I've been around since the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Or Jill. One of us that did the very first e-reader on the air, and nobody ever thought it would get any better. Isn't it amazing how the e-reader has survived, even though we have all the fully functioning tablets, because of the distraction-free ability to be able to read a book without what happens on here. Ding, while you're reading the book, there's the phone call. Ding, there's the text message. Ding, I want to go with social media. I'm going to read the news. I'm going to get depressed. Now I need to have something to... None of that happens because none of that's here. So what did I just do there? Well, I didn't have my readers on, so I was able to go and simply raise the font and the text and all that stuff. Check this out. Let's scroll through. I don't know what the word assemble means, okay? I have no idea what it means. Yes, I do. There's the dictionary.
Wow.
Now, if you guys wouldn't mind, can you just push in a little bit here? Because I want to show you something pretty cool. Not only do I have the definition for this, Jane, but look at this. Scroll over, and there's Wikipedia. So there is where assemble came from. Here's how it's used in this book. And then one last cool little thing. I can translate from English to French. Rassembler is how you say assemble. I don't know if that's...
You know what? It is a ballet term.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
And it's a jump that comes together in the air and lands.
Like a plie and
Assemblée.
a changement.
Okay, can I give everybody an update? Because I'm a little worried.
Go ahead.
So this is obviously here at QVC. We wanted to bring you like the best gift of the season. And it's funny because I am actually a convert. I was someone that was like, no, I need books.
My wife is the same
I
way.
only want to read books. I love books. And then like my house is only so big. I can only spend so much money. There's no way that I could take that and visit my daughter for the weekend. But if I'm sitting, I'm reading. It's like with a cat.
Yeah.
If I fits, I sits. Let me take you through colors on the lowest price we found for something that has a larger screen, a faster page turner, faster performance, a longer battery life, but it's thinner, it's user friendly, and there are no distractions. So this is your Jade. In the Jade, which I love, we had 11,000 with the lowest price we found. There's 2,900 left. In this show, well over 500 just went out the door, and we have tens of thousands of people shopping at QVC.com, and this is the best value of the day. The raspberry is gorgeous, and yes, it's books, but it's audiobooks, and it's magazines, and it's newspapers, and it's more. I can't tell you how many times I've been reading something from a favorite author, and then I think to myself, I think I know what that word means, but I'm not going to stop and look it up, and now it does it for me. And then we also have it in the black, and you're spending under $1 a day on Easy Pay and free shipping and handling.
Yeah, and to your point, the only problem with putting the book down and picking up a device to go search for that word's definition is that you may not come back to the book. All right, so we give you the basics and we give you what this thing does. It's an e-reader. And an e-reader works differently than a tablet or a phone or a computer. Tablets and phones all have either LED, LCD screens. They're illuminated. The last thing you're supposed to do before you go to bed at night is put one of those devices in front of your face. The blue light keeps you up. Your brain doesn't shut down. There is none of that here. This works on something called e-ink. What is e-ink? Well, there are little tiny microcapsules inside here about the size of a human hair, millions of them. They either illuminate in black or white when they get a charge from the battery. And when they do, the white gives you the background, the black gives you the font. But it gets cooler than that because you can go into the dark mode, and at night, if it's better for you to read this way, look at that. That would almost make the text just kind of float in a dark room because you don't have any background anymore.
That would be great on a train or a plane.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
And to be able to just doze off at night. But then look at this. Not only can you do that, but let's go back to the regular mode. You also have the ability to control your brightness and also the warmth. So if you want to make it more of a sepia tone or you want to make it a bright tone, which means that, Jane, if you're in a bright environment, sunshine, the beach, something hitting that, if it hits your phone, you can't see it. We've all tried to look at an email or a text message in the bright sunshine.
I love that you have a cat as your screensaver. That is just the best ever.
My old cat. Yeah, that's Caesar. But anyway. On here, no matter how much bright light hits it, you'll still be able to see. I know we don't have a ton of time, but I want to show you something that's been getting quite a bit of attention today.
Okay.
For those of you that go, well, my vision isn't as good as it used to be. I can see, even if I raise the font or whatever, but it would be great if somebody would read the book to me. Well, we've all heard of Audible. Audible reads the book because a narrator or an actor or somebody recorded that. But this device is smart enough to actually read a book to you that's not an audio book, not an old school book on tape. Now, you need a speaker or you need headphones or you need earbuds or something like that to do it. But once you have that connected, in fact, I'm going to show you right on here, all you need to do is go like this.
Scallions. Mix 10 servings vegetable oil spray 128 ounce package frozen tater tots 1 2.5 to 3 pound rotisserie chicken, meat removed and shredded 2/3 cup shredded.
Now, can you imagine if you're
Double tap
if you're
and hold
cooking
for more options.
All you have to do is draw a little L on here,
Shredded 2/3 cup buffalo
and she'll
wing
read you the
sauce,
recipe.
1.5 cups, 6 ounces, plus 1.5.
That is the brain
Yeah,
inside.
that's wild.
Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
That is something like I don't remember that from previous versions of the
Right.
Kindle. Let me show you real quick how I did that, because I know a lot of you are going to go, well, you show me the magic tray, how do I do it? All you do, if you're in your book, whatever book you're in, swipe down, all settings, go to accessibility, and if you guys wouldn't mind pushing in one more time, sorry about that, voice view screen reader.
Okay.
Turn it on. It'll make you link a headphone, earbud, speaker device, whatever it might be. And then it's a double tap instead of a single tap. Whatever you tap on the screen, it will read whatever that is to you. And then if you do the L, it'll read you the whole page.
And what,
And
that
keep
now,
going.
like a whole new group of people in your life has just opened up with this as a
That's
gift.
it.
And like, you might say, well, I have a Kindle. Well, guess what? This is the newest and latest and greatest,
Yeah.
and does things faster and easier in a lighter manner. Has again the ability to have thousands of books. And if I already have like a Kindle account and I'm getting a new one, is that easy too?
It's very easy. So all you do for that is if you've got your old book or your old Kindle or whatever, let's say this is it, whatever's in here is up in the cloud, which means that when you go into the new one, you're going to load your home screen. You won't see any of this when you first turn it on. You're just going to see what they're recommending. But as soon as you sign into this device with the same account that's in this device, meaning the old one, all of these little thumbnails will start to populate. That doesn't mean they're in there, and that's a good thing because it's not taking up space. All you need to do to make that book come to life is tap onto it, and you'll see Q. And then it'll take, I don't know, a minute, depending on your Wi-Fi speed. And the next thing you know, you have the books that you had from the old Kindle now living in the new one.
That is so cool.
It is wild.
I'd love to find a new author and then to explore all the other books that they've read, or they've written, I should say.
Yep.
And I read them. But I'm looking at $129.98, and you invest in that once, and then you get the ability to go home and have titles that are recommended to you. But before I had this Kindle, a lot of times I
Right.
would find a book or find an author, and the only version available is Kindle.
Yeah,
Right?
there's a lot of digital-only books.
There's a lot of digital-only
point.
books.
Yep.
And I remember recently I was like, but wait, I want to read that. And
But there
now
is no version.
this is all you take. Now,
Yeah.
we only have a little bit left in this presentation. I can't reiterate enough that this is the lowest price that we found.
Yep.
So we know that you want to get the best price always, but especially at this holiday season. One more advantage of QVC is you can take this home, you can get the books that you want to read and the magazines and the newspapers and more. And if you don't love it by the end of January, you return it. But this is Jade, brand new color, my favorite. By the way, with free shipping, this is $30 off, and it still is the lowest price we found. That Jade is going to be the most limited choice. We only have 2,500 remaining, and we've sold tons all day long. Next to that is Raspberry, and then we also have it in black. 17,000 ordered today, so you see what we have left in the Jade.
Yeah, and one thing we haven't touched on, you were talking about, you know, being able to get books instantly and stuff like that. If you have a library card, wrap your head around this. You don't have to go to the library anymore. You can go to apps like Libby, Libby, associate your library card with this account, and then you can borrow virtually the same book that you would go to the library for, except guess what? As soon as you get access to that book through the Libby app, it puts the book in your Kindle. So then you now get the books for free instead of having to go buy them. Because I know a lot of you hesitate and say, well, if I spend $129 on this device, do I have to keep spending money in order to use it? Clearly, at some point, you'll probably buy a book.
Right.
But I would definitely kick the tires on borrowing books
Yeah.
from the library because they're free.
And also, I don't know if she's watching, my daughter gets like skeeved out by library books.
Oh, listen.
She does not.
She's
and
not-
then- wait, and then the one time I was like, just go get it from the library. And she opened it up and a card fell out and it said, your next wound care appointment is Tuesday. I'm not making this up. So I just feel a lot better about borrowing books this way.
See,
True story.
I've been trying to get better and better about my germophobia, and COVID didn't help and stuff like that. But you know, you go for your annual checkup at the doctor and stuff like that, and I'll just sit in the waiting room like this, or I have my phone out or whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my doctor's office doesn't have have strong Wi-Fi. So I'm looking around, I'm like, no, I don't care. I'd rather just sit like this than touch that magazine. I am not.
All right, now maybe this is something that nobody's mentioned today, but I love to read and I like to maybe snack, and every once in a while I like to eat a Cheeto, okay? So many times I've given a book to my daughter to read after I read it, and she's
Cheeto
like,
dust on
Mom,
it? Yeah.
like, what were you eating? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. You're never gonna have Cheeto
Pristine
fingers.
screen, you can just wipe off the,
exactly.
Well, let me take you over here. I'll give you one better. So not only will Cheeto dust not hurt it, but how many times not how many times, but all of us at some point in our life have exposed our phones, our tablets, our computers to the spilled glass of water, iced tea, hopefully not wine. You didn't waste the wine. This one is completely waterproof, not water resistant. Water resistant means